Hello everyone, I'm the Whiskey Enthusiast. Welcome back to my channel. On this episode of the Distillery Visits, we have the White Peak Distillery in Derbyshire, England. And we're going to talk about their whiskey, the wireworks. I'm going to tell you some details. As you've seen on the previous ones, it's going to continue with the same format, some videos, and just to tell you and walk you through their kind of a core range and, just give some information. I've been there twice, one in 2022 in December. That was the first time I visited there. I did the tour there and, we did see the distillery being working. And that's always nice to go to a working distillery where, stills are are active. They're collecting the spirits. There's fermentation going on. So it's always nice to see that. And second time around, it was December 24. I just stopped by. We were staying somewhere near and just stopped by for the shop to see what's up. But, unexpectedly, Tom was there. I'll tell you all about that. And saw the new warehousing bits and tried some new ones. Okay, I'll just give you some information about the distillery, then start off the tasting. Hopefully this won't be as long, but as with always, hopefully this will be helpful for someone who's about to visit the distillery or want to and see what they want. All right. I'll put this up on the screen as well. And so it was established in 2016. Their annual capacity is 120,000 liters. Water source is the nearby River Derwent. I'll put some videos of the distillery there as well. They have peated and unpeated malted barley. They mix it 80 to 20, 80 unpeated, 20 peated. But the peated one is 8 ppm. So, we're not talking about too much peats there, but it adds a little bit of character. They get their malt source from Crisp Maltings, and which is interesting. I'll show you something I just remembered. You go to Crisp's website, and they actually can send you these. These are malted barleys, and this is Vienna type malt. There's more there. So if you're doing like any kind of tasting or anything, and you want to see what malted barley is and what different types, Crisp Maltings are quite open to send you these kinds of things. This was given to me by Paul at MacLean's Tours in Scotland. If you watch this, big shout out to Paul. He's Charles MacLean's cousin, actually, and from the MacLean clan. Brilliant guy. We hung out for 5 days in Elgin and around Scotland and Speyside to do some tours. He gave me this and a few others as a gift. So it's good. It's nice. Okay. They have two types of yeast, the classic distiller's yeast, and then they take live yeast from brewer's yeast, from Thornbridge Brewery. Washbacks 8, washback size 13,000 liters, Douglas fir. Fermentation time is on average 144 hours, which is it's 6 days. And then they have two stills. Wash still is 3,000 liters and spirit still is 2,100 liters. Shallon tube condensers, filling strength is 63.5, and dunnage and racked warehousing on site. And we'll talk about that as well. So, Max and Claire Vaughan, they have no background in distilling whatsoever, but it's a couple, and they bought that area. It's an old wireworks factory, hence the name of the whiskies. It's metalworking called Johnson and Nephew Wireworks, and since 2001, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And Max and Claire decided to start a distillery. I'll show you the bottle. This is to show you the wiring. So that's why. And I think the bottle won awards. And, I think rightly so. It's a very, very, very pretty bottle. And they have this you can get from the shop, which is really nice. The bourbon, the virgin oak, which is this one, so I didn't open that one, and then the bourbon, and then the STR bourbon. You can get it from the shop as such, and it comes up with this kind of information. You can scan the QR codes and learn more about it, which is nice. It's nice to show some information. I have opened them. I've tried them before, so I'm just keeping it as such. So we're going to start with Caduro, which is a combination of, where is Caduro? Yeah, it's again lightly peated, bourbon and STR. It's 46.8% ABV. And Caduro is the name for the house brand of wiring, apparently produced back in the day by Johnson and Nephew Wireworks. All right, Caduro is their classic one. There's a cask strength one as well, but you can go and buy the Caduro on their website. It's very lightly peated. It's bourbon freshness and that STR, I don't want to say synthetic, but STR sweetness. If you've had, STR, you kind of know there's a distinct taste to it or smell to it. But absolutely pretty whiskey. A hint of ginger spice, a little bit of prickly on the nose, but 46.8% ABV. Just feels nice, fresh, and creamy on the palate. It's very nice. That little bit of peat really does add some character. Stops it from being overly sweet, but you can taste the bourbon barrels. The STR gives a nice smoky factor as well. Plays well with the little peat, and it is in the territory of breakfast whiskey, but that little peat and that little char from the STR elevates it a bit. So it's very nice. Some ginger candies continue on the palate. You get more spice on the palate as well. But creaminess from bourbon, caramel, sweet chocolate, light milk chocolate, and some char notes. It's medium to long finish. Very pretty whiskey. I'm not going to dive too deep into the tasting notes. It's just to give you a general understanding of the brand. Right, now let's put some videos and photos on. I'll just put a photo of the distillery. As you can see from above, it looks like that. And I'll just show you the video of us driving to the place. As you can see, you go through this drawbridge and you go back. It's an industrial area, but it's good. It's good. And this is the front of it. And I'll just show you the video of the shop as well, so you can see what we're dealing with.
Order number 61929. Oh, so no, it's a bit sorry, it's just in the image. Yes. Oh, right, okay. So it's the Virgin and the medium. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Cross purposes, I was looking for the medium itself. Oh, sorry.
Right. So the second time I was there in December, I did the hand filling thing. It's about 6 years. The whiskey is 5-6 years. It's from a Lafroy quarter cask, which I'll put the photo up there as well. And it's this one, hand filling. It's again lightly peated, 63.2%, but from Lafroy quarter casks. And yeah, it's really nice. And I'm just keeping it to share with people, but hand filled. But as with other distilleries where you do hand filling, you can put your name on there, and then they have a book and you sign it and stuff. They didn't. Maybe it's different in England than it is to Scotland, so I don't know. But that's the thing. And there's the price list. You can see, so it's quite recent, so you can compare what we have. And yes, so White Peak Distillery won the best English whiskey distillery at the English Whiskey Awards. Jeff and Vin did it. I'll put the link down below. And their bourbon barrel won the best English whiskey. So that would be our third one. We'll get to that. And I tried them and some Caduro cask strength Madeira. I like White Peak. I think they're nice. They're nice. And yeah, I'm gonna start from the beginning with the tour and then continue. It's in a nice place. Derbyshire is a really nice place. Peak District, they call it. So they're like really little hills and peaks and stuff. It's pretty cool. They have this nice old Defender. And yeah, as you can see, it's kind of like a very industrial but quite cool looking area. That's the door. It's me. It was cold. It's very cold. So this is the first time around. They have their own rums and they make gin as well. So they're quite versatile and they cask age their rums, which are really, really tasty. And they started now that these demijohns are there. You can go and with your empty bottle and have it filled again. So they're quite environmentally friendly. You can fill gins, you can fill rums. Whiskey, it's not always the same. Sometimes they have Caduro, sometimes they have bourbon, depending on what they have in the back. But you'll always fill something up. And this is interesting. In 2022, this Never Say Die bourbon was there in the corner and it just says display. And I said, can I try it? And they said, it's something we're working on. So we can't give it to you. And I said, okay, whatever they could be working on. But last year we learned that in 2024 that Never Say Die, the bourbon from US, came to their distillery and was aged there. So that was pretty interesting to see after, seeing Vin review it. I was like, that's what it was. And now you go to the new warehouse, you can see the Never Say Die barrels right next to the White Peak barrels as well, which is pretty cool to see. Yeah, and then rums. As we were waiting for the tour to start, they brought some wort out and they're like, we want to taste? And yeah. And if you ever tasted it, it's like barley water, hot barley water, which is quite nice. It's a bit sweet. You can't have that much of it, but it's nice. It's nice. Yes, so Dave was our tour guide and he's the distillery manager. So we go inside there and those are the casks and it's a really big area. They don't own the whole place, but it's a really big area. And so that those stills in the front are the gin and the rum stills, and you can see the pot stills for the whiskey in the back. So yeah, that's the gin and rum. And Dave's just explaining some things.
So it's a bit more complicated than that. We actually have to test that starch. We don't do that here. That happens at a malting. So we've all heard of malted barley.
Yeah, so it's nice to see a working distillery. As you can see, the steams and coming, the fermentations going on. The wash is being prepared, and it's nice. It's nice to see that. It's quite sanitized if you visit a very big distillery, and if they're not, if they're not distilling at that time, it's not the same charm, shall we say? It's not the same fun bit. Their pot stills are interesting because they're not shiny, as you've probably seen a few pot stills either on videos or personally. The pot stills are copper and always shiny, look fantastic. These guys don't polish them, and they say they like it better this way. And I think both of them have their nice bits. This is pretty cool looking as well, I would say. Oh, there's this, so the fermentation, the yeast was a bit too active, and it was just coming out of the, as you can see, it's just very excitable. And what was her name? Is Sarah. Sarah is the distiller. And Sarah, to calm the yeast, to calm the fermentation down, she put some vegan olive butter. And, it wasn't butter from milk. It was just olive butter. It's like olive oil maybe pasted. It was very little, like this much, but she just put it in there. And apparently it calms the fermentation, it calms the yeast down, which was interesting. I've never knew that or saw that. So yeah, that was interesting. And Sarah here putting some dried yeast on again. Yeah, we're seeing some stilling. Yes. Okay, that's how it looks when the yeast is being just poured. This is dry yeast, and there's live yeast in there as well. It's just started bubbling. And this is the spirit still. They're just taking the heads, hearts, and tails all separately. So it's always cool, like I said, to see what this is.
Taking everything right now. That's heads. That's the heart. That's what you want. And those are the tails.
Okay. Then we're gonna go to the warehouse bit, but before that, I'm gonna continue with their other core range, the virgin oak finish. So it's bourbon barrels, and then again lightly peated. They don't change their malted barley specifications, at least not right now. And it's bourbon barrel with then taken to virgin oak, and this one is 51.7% ABV. I'm having like a nice virgin oak. Oh, it's not the same, is it? This is. Oh yeah, this is a different batch. This is 50.5% ABV. This is 51.7% ABV. So, but I don't know how different it will be. But this is what I have. I don't want to open the other one. I have the open bottle. Might as well drink it from there. And I have the, oh, you can't really see, can you? There you go. White Peak Distillery glass, Glencairn. And with the STR and bourbon, I forgot to say, the American barrel, the ex-bourbon is the body, but the tops are French oak to get more character, more interaction. And this is just ex-bourbon with then having a finishing period in virgin oak. So you get a bit more coconut now. The creaminess of the bourbon is still there, but you get a bit more spice. More spicy than the Caduro one, because Caduro had the STR, so it will be sweet. Peppers, green peppers. Yeah, and quite robust. Very fresh. So the creaminess is taking a back palate. It's more citric, more lemony, more fresh. But nice coconutty note there as well, with some peppers. On the palate is fantastic. The bourbon creaminess and the virgin oaks effect of, for me, it's always coconut. Touches and goes well, really nice together. The nose is a bit more shy, but the palate is milk chocolate, a lot of maybe some coconut butter, coconutty chocolates, some nice spice, some ginger notes, good caramel, almost like those coconutty bars, chocolate bars. Maybe like, what was it called? Bounty. Yeah, very, very Bounty-esque right now because of the creaminess and the coconut and the chocolate note. It's really nice. They're all non-chill filtered and natural color. I think I forgot to say that, but they all are. So I'm going to play around with the water, but because, you know, my friend Greg always points out that I don't play around with water here. I do when I'm doing my tastings, but I don't do it here because it will just take too long, and in these distillery videos it's already too long anyway. But I'll do that and then go on with the other one. I'll just edit. Okay, then we're in the warehouse. It's a small place, but you know, I'll just pass these fast. Dave's explaining about charring, and then we did to the tasting. We tasted their gin, their cask aged rums, and it was really, really nice. And another a special moment for me is that was the first time someone said, "Oh, I think I just saw your video," and he showed me that he just literally watched it. He was on the tour as well, so that was really nice to see. And then we'll move on to the bourbon. But this is the warehouse where the Never Say Die barrels are. That's a hard name to say, Never Say Die. Those barrels are right next to the White Peak ones, and apparently they do tastings there now, Tom was telling me. And yeah, they're expanding, and that's the Laphroaig quarter cask, that the hand-fill one. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the bourbon barrel, which won the Best English Whiskey award in the English Whiskey Awards. But before going to that, they also have some special releases. I would highly recommend this one, the Necessary Evil finish. It's finished in, Necessary Evil is a brewer. It's a stout name from the brewing company that they work with. And that stout is hardcore. That's 10% ABV. And it's, I tried it. It's like eating or drinking chocolate mousse. It's so heavy, so thick, which imparts a fantastic creamy, chocolatey, dark note to the whiskey. So onto the bourbon barrel. We have the bourbon barrel is 53.4% ABV, and it's from Heaven Hill, and it's just ex-bourbon. And it smells it. It's classic bourbon barrel nose. No STR in this. Very lightly peated, which plays really well with the char of the bourbon barrels, because they need to be newly charred oak. And a lot of sugar, caramel, even floral, really. Yeah, floral, citric, very sweet. I mean, this is feeling a bit more breakfast whiskey as well, but I know the ABV is high. But very fresh, very creamy, very sweet, but also floral. On the palate, now on the palate, you can feel the ABV a bit more. We've gone up, but now we get some cookies, some biscuit notes, very malt forward. The floral notes took a backseat. We're having a bit more barley and malty notes, and like caramel biscuits or biscuits sprinkled with sugar on top, that kind of thing. It's very, very nice, very, very nice. And I just put some water in. Let's see what it did to the nose. Opened up the floral notes and the malted barley and the coconut, sorry, not coconut, the creamy notes are more coming up on the nose now with the adding of water. And on the palate, yeah, beautiful. Plays well with water, swims well, it's good. The cookie notes open up even more buttered biscuits, a bit more shortbread now, and really enjoyable, good ex-bourbon, good quality ex-bourbon barrel whiskey. So I wanted to do as fast as possible. I'm gonna say one thing that's nice with these small distilleries, that when they see that you're enthusiastic, when they see that you're excited about their products and about asking questions, they respond in such a way that you get stuff that you normally won't be able to get. In the sense that when I was there, I was asking a question, and the lady behind the counter didn't know, so she called Tom, and Tom came, and I met him in the Whiskey Show London last year. So I asked him the question, he explained to me, and they said, have you seen the new warehouse? I haven't. So he just took me there, and we opened some barrels, we smelled, and we talked, because they're working there, but it's not a mere job for them. They're not just doing 9 to 5. They're working there because they want to work there. They're passionate people, and if they see that you're passionate as well, they gave me some new make, which it wasn't technically in their book. They don't do that, but I kind of asked, and they said, okay, we have this batch and try it. So that's what I would suggest as well. If you're at these distilleries, the small ones, like you do this at Glenfiddich, they'll be like, yeah, get out. But the small ones, they're passionate people. You can see and feel the passion oozing behind it. So ask questions, and more often than not, you'll receive. So guys, this was my visit to White Peak Distillery with my reviews of the Wye Works core range. I like them all. I would say my favorite is the Virgin Oak one, and then the bourbon, and then the STR, but very, very close, and they all have their own different styles. This is absolute breakfast whiskey, the STR. Virgin Oak, not every day. I think you need to think about it and you sit down a bit. It's nice, full character, and bourbon barrel is absolute delight to drink, but I highly recommend the Necessary Evil one as well. All right, that's it from me. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It does mean a lot. And if you want to buy me a dram, you can also join my channel. Let me know, have you visited White Peak Distillery? Have you tried any of their whiskeys, the Wye Works, their rums, their gins? I want to know what you feel about this place, and I shall see you guys on the next one. Cheers.